Sometimes all it takes is one decision to completely change the direction of your life. And today's story is about that moment. Welcome to the Dream Seller Show, brought to you by Culture Holidays, where we spotlight travel advisors who don't just book trips, they create experiences, memories, and sometimes even life changing moments. I'm your host, Rajni, and in each episode, we bring you real stories from people who turned their passion for travel into something truly meaningful. And today's story is one I think a lot of people will connect with because it's about change, it's about courage, and saying yes to a new chapter. Meet Natasha Cummings, a travel advisor, mentor, entrepreneur, and someone who truly believes that travel should have purpose. Her journey took a beautiful turn when life moved her to Alaska. And that experience opened her eyes to the beauty of the world and deepened her love for travel. In 2019, she turned that passion into purpose by launching Beyond Blessed Travel, a travel agency dedicated to creating meaningful, unforgettable experiences. She specializes in faith based journeys, group travel, romantic getaways, and veteran focused travel. Experiences that go far beyond just visiting a destination. With over 7 years in the industry, Natasha believes travel is about connection, renewal, and creating memories that truly enrich your life. She also serves as a master ambassador within teletravel, mentoring and training travel advisors to build successful, purpose driven businesses. And at the heart of everything she does is a simple mission to help people travel with purpose, experience the world with joy, and create memories that last a lifetime. So, Natasha, I absolutely love your story. It is so full of purpose and positivity. We are so happy to have you here. Welcome to the Dream Seller Show. So,
Thank
how are you
you
doing?
so much. I am good. Thank you so much for that intro. That was amazing. Thank you.
So, are you excited for today's podcast?
I am. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm excited. Yes.
We're also damn excited to have you here. And I'm sure after listening to your experience, many advisors are going to gain insights from you.
Yes.
So let's start from the beginning. When and how did you first start your travel business?
Well, like you said, in 2019, a friend of mine approached me at church and we were talking, and she shared a business opportunity with me. And I was like, oh my God, I would love to do that. Being a young lady from the Caribbean, I always wanted to travel, but funds was tight for parents in the Caribbean. So that was, something that I always wanted to do, but the funds wasn't there. So now when I had the opportunity to start my own travel business, I jumped on it and I have not regretted since. And it's been next month will be 9 years since I have started my travel business. Yeah.
That's
So,
great. So, what was the inspiration that you thought, okay, I'm going to do this travel thing?
well, one of it too was my kids. I didn't get to experience the stuff that I wanted to. I have three boys, 30. The oldest one is 30, 27, and 24. And I wanted for them to be able to travel the world and to experience different things, not just stay in one location. Because living in Alaska, it is far away sometimes when we have to travel to different places. So I really wanted to give my boys the opportunity to travel the world, to explore and see different things, different culture, meet different people. So that was also one of my driving factor of starting my travel business to have my kids to experience something different. And then to also to let people know that you don't have to stay in one place because the world is so big. There is so much that you can see. Their culture is different, the food. And when you travel and come back, you become a different person. So that's what one of my reasons too of and what inspires me to be a travel advisor.
That is so true. There is so much to see in the world. Okay, so tell us about your first ever booking and how did it feel to sell that dream?
Oh my God. My first ever booking was for this gentleman and his wife at the time, and they wanted to go to Maldives and Paris. That was my first ever booking. When I got it, I was like, oh, I'm so excited. And then, laying out everything for them, making sure I checked off everything that they give me on their client inquiry form, making sure they wanted first class this, first class that. So just making sure that I checked off everything that they give me as the travel advisor, making sure that I give them all the bells and whistles that they were looking for that amazing trip. And that has been like one of the best trips that I booked for my first trip. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this. But it was so good. And they really, really had a good time in the Maldives and Paris. That was my first trip as a travel advisor.
Okay, great. And first is always a special.
Yes.
Okay, so do you remember the first time you booked a culture holidays trip and what stood out to you about the experience?
My first culture holiday trip I booked was for a gentleman and his wife. They wanted to celebrate their 10th anniversary in Greece. And the experience was amazing. The platform that Culture Holiday have is second to none. Everything that you need is on the website. When it comes to customer service, you don't have to wait for a response, which I love. And I know because of our time zone, like, I am in the night and you guys are in the day, in the morning. If we send a response, we always, when I wake up in the morning, I get a response back in my email. It also have WhatsApp where we can chat with you guys, with the customer service. And I would say anything that we need, you guys are there. Any questions we need about the itinerary, tweaking anything or adding anything to make it personalized to that particular client, you guys are there to help us with that. So my first ever booking with Culture was a Greece honeymoon. They want to celebrate one of their anniversaries in Greece, and that was really nice.
Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so Natasha, now we'll move to a fun break and it will be a quick game to lighten things up. It is called Pack or Pass. So I'll
Okay.
throw out some random travel items and you have to tell me instantly that if you would pack it or pass it. Okay,
Okay.
all right. So first one is neck pillow.
Pack.
Okay, high heels,
Pass.
power bank,
Pack.
instant noodles,
Pass.
selfie stick,
Pack.
and a guidebook.
Not necessarily. So I would say I will pass.
Okay, all right. Yes, we always provide guides for the for
Yes.
exploration. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. And that was great. Now let's talk about what makes your travel business truly yours. Okay. So every advisor has their signature, their magic, and this is where your brand really shines. So, which specific type of travel or market do you specialize in, and what makes it unique to your business?
My specialty right now is couples and faith-based and groups. But I like couples because I have been married for 29 years. This December, I will be celebrating my 30th anniversary. I love love, and everybody who knows me, that's what I love. I love to see people happy. I love to see couples reconnect and rekindle their relationship because as married couples, especially having kids, you forget to continue to date. You forget to continue to do things together. So I like to put packages together to help couples not to forget themselves, but to also make sure they make time for themselves. And within that, my faith base is in there. When I do group trips, I make sure I do morning devotion where we can get up and read or do something related to faith. So because that's my thing. I can talk about God all day because I love him. So couples, faith-based groups, anything like that, that is what I love. And I try to make sure when I book my trips for my client, that comes out and make sure that they are happy with whatever I put together for them. So yes.
What a beautiful thought. Okay, so if travel was a person, how would you describe your relationship with it?
Ah, I would say not easy, because with a relationship, you have your ups and downs. Still with your business, you have your ups and downs, you have your higher and your lows. And with any relationship, you have to keep working at it every single day. And that comes the same with a travel business. I can't just say, oh, I'm in business and I'm not educating myself. I'm not going to events. I am not getting on webinars and finding out what trending, what is not working. So that goes the same as a relationship. So I would say same as how I'm committed to my marriage or committed to my relationship, I am committed to my travel business, to making sure I stay on top of everything, making sure my clients are taken care of from the beginning when you reach out to me to book a trip, in between when you get to that destination, checking in on you to make sure that you're good, you make it safe. When you get back home, checking in on you to make sure how your vacation was, what did I miss, what can I improve for next time. So all of those components goes into play with my travel business. And when I look at it as a relationship, I think of it as a marriage.
That is beautiful. And that is a very valid point that learning is very important, and learning and earning goes both hand in hand. That is very
Yes,
true.
very much so. Yes.
Okay. So, has there ever been a moment that you felt like a true dream seller?
Yes. When I had a client that I booked her mom, we had did a train ride here in Alaska. We went from Fairbanks to Denali, and her mom was a senior citizen, and she's been in Alaska for a long time. She has always said that she wanted to do the train ride, never got the opportunity. So one year I had put on a train ride for us to leave from Fairbanks to go to Denali. And when we got back, her mom was crying. She said, Tosh, you don't understand what you did for my mom. She said you help her check off a dream trip, even being in Alaska, checking off something that she wanted to do for years. And she write me this really love note saying thank you so much for making her mom dream come true. So for that, I will always remember me helping her mom check off that. To me, it might be simple, but to her mom, it was such a big thing for me helping her with that dream trip, just from Fairbanks to Denali on that train.
That is beautiful. And truly, these kind of, uh, emotional things makes us feel like, yes, we are doing something very correct.
Yes.
Okay. So you have worked with Culture Holidays. Can you share a trip you booked with us that made your clients really happy?
Oh my God, this trip that I booked with Culture, I can talk about this forever. We took and we did Bali last October, and that was the best trip. We had such an amazing time. Some of my clients I have never met before. I put the trip together, and some of us we connected in Doha, and that was the first time meeting them. Once we get to Doha, it was like, planning the trip, you talk to your clients and stuff because when you're doing groups, you talk to them all the time. So it felt that we were already family by just booking the trip. But when we got to Doha, we had a couple hours to hang out in Doha in the airport. We just chill and had a good time. When we got to Bali, our amazing, his name just passed me, our tour guide. He was so amazing when he picked us up. And then everything from the minute we got to the hotel, we stayed in the Conrad. He dropped us off and he was so attentive to everything, the itinerary that we had, the events that you had planned for us, the excursions was good. But the best excursion I can talk about all the time was that Bali massage. That massage, I would tell anybody, if you go to Bali, you need that massage. They touch every part of your body, up and down. So that was the best trip, and every client that I had said it was so amazing and they had a really good time. So Bali was it for me. Yes.
That sounds great fun. And yes, Bali massage is awesome.
Yes.
Very
Oh,
relaxing.
my driver, our tour guide was Agnet. He was amazing. Yes. So I can't forget his name. So yeah,
Yes,
he was
great.
really good.
All right. So now we go into the heart touching part because behind every booking, there is always a human story. So, what has been your most unforgettable client story?
I would say, even with Bali, I would say that a lot of women said that they came back different when they went to Bali because of the experience that they had. And that's one thing I like to do when I book my trips is that when they come back, my clients, you leave one way, when you come back a different way. So the experience that my client had, I would say Bali was one of it because all of the ladies were raving. Even the men were raving because we had couple guys and stuff, and we had couples. They were raving of the experience that they had. So I would say Bali was one of that.
Bali is definitely on the top list. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And what is the funniest or strangest client request you have ever received?
I don't think I have one. I don't think I have a funny or a strange request ever. Unless, somebody said, oh, I want to go somewhere in the next 2 days and expect you to work magic. But I don't have a crazy funny story about my clients.
Okay, never mind. Maybe in the next few years or in the next podcast, we'll
Yes,
hear about
maybe.
this.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Was there a moment you felt culture holidays made your job easier as an advisor? Anything like that?
Yeah, from the beginning, since we start working with you, since our host agency start working with Culture Holidays, and even before that, anyway, before you guys became our preferred partner, us as agents, our advisors will reach out, and you guys were amazing with communicating. And then, once you guys became our partner, the relationship just got stronger. But it has always been since, we can book with you guys, it has been amazing. The communication has been great. Every time we reach out, like I said, you guys will always respond, or, we'll get a message and say, we will get back to you. So it has always been amazing.
Thank you for saying that. And we are glad that, from the host agency in teletravel, we
Yes.
have received the best escorted tour operator for 2 years in a row. Yeah.
Yes.
And we are very happy about that, that you guys
Yes.
voted for us.
Yes.
Okay. So, on that note, now let's talk about the business side of being a dream seller. Because
Okay.
passion opens the door, but strategy keeps it open. So let's move on to our next sales and success strategies. What is your go to way to turn an inquiry into a confirmed booking?
My strategy is you get your clients inquiry form that we normally send out to our clients. Then I will do a phone call, with my client, either on Zoom or just call them over the phone to making sure that I understand exactly what you want on that inquiry form, making sure that if you are going for something special, that I take note of that. If you're going for anniversary, making sure I contact the vendor to be like, hey, my client is coming to celebrate the anniversary or a birthday. What can I do to make sure that my client have that day is extra special for them? Getting all the information, getting the quote, sending it to them, and after I send it to them, getting on Zoom or, talking over the phone to go over and answering any questions after they get a chance to review um, the quote that I sent to them or the proposal. And after that is just making sure you communicate if there's something that needs to be tweaked or changed, doing that and making sure I understand exactly what they want, not just a cookie cutter quote, because anybody can do that, right? Anybody can go online on those websites and book a trip. But if they are coming to a travel agent, they're looking for something special that they can't get regularly online. So that's what I try to make sure that I give to my clients. So whatever clients I have, that booking, when I send that proposal, it my client is like, oh my God, this is amazing. Everything that I wanted is in this booking. There's no questions. And then my client said, okay, how can I make my deposit? And those are the answers that I like. My proposal is amazing. Thank you for everything. How can I make my deposit? And when your client says that is when you send them something amazing and there's no questions that they have from the proposal that you sent to them.
That is very true. The gap between the online booking and the knowledge of the advisor, intelligence of the advisor, we need to fill. That is very true. And so, what is the most common objection you hear, and how do you handle it from your customers?
The number one objective is price, or I can't afford it, or it's too expensive. So what I tell people is you always can't afford travel. And I don't, want to tell people, hey, because I don't know what people, pocket is like. But I always tell people you can't afford to travel if you want to travel. With all of us advisors, we do offer payment plans. With Culture Holidays, we have the amazing $200 deposit. So you can make a deposit and then you have, if you plan in advance, you could make monthly payments every single month. Your trip needs to be paid for 60 to 90 days before you travel. So there are flexibility for travel. I always tell people if you want to travel, you can, and I can always offer you the ways for you to travel. You don't have to always pay your whole trip up front. We have clients that, like to do that. But for those who would like a payment plan, that is always available, and I make sure I offer that to my clients to let them know you can travel. You just let me know when, and I always tell them plan in advance, make that small deposit, and then I break their payments down into monthly manageable payments so that they can make every single month. So to me, the objective is, oh, I can't travel because of the budget or price.
Beautiful. That is great. Okay. So, how do you convince clients to focus on value instead of price?
Because when you're thinking about price, you cut corners, right? Because it's like, oh, I'm going to take this off, I'm going to take this off. But then your client miss out on different experiences. So when I book my trips, I focus more on the value and not the price. And when I'm doing the quote for my clients, I lay out what you will get for this amount of money that you are going to spend. Like, you going to Bali, you have the Bali swing, you have the massage, different things that you guys offer. If you want to do something special or something different, you can add that on if you want to take it off. So it all depends on what you want. And I want my clients to come back and say, oh my God, I had such an amazing experience. And price was not an option because I think a lot of times, people feel like, oh, that's a lot, but you are going for an experience, not necessarily the price. And I think a lot of people just figure, oh, I can go online and book that you miss the intricate pieces that you will do because even when I booked my trip to go to Singapore with Culture too, I did a cooking class with my husband. So those are things that you can give to your clients to be like, oh my God, you got an amazing experience in destination. So when you add all these things and values to your clients, they don't necessarily look at the price, but they look at the experience that they're going to get and walk away with that you can talk about for a lifetime. So I always tell people, yes, you might be always want to look at price, but sometimes you have to look at the value you are going to get after that trip is over.
Very true. Okay. So, what is your favorite upsell or add on that clients always thank you for?
Travel insurance.
Yeah,
You
that is
always, yes. I do not book any vacations for any client without travel insurance because in today's day and age, you never know what's going to happen. You never know what medical emergencies you might have, family emergency, flight might get delayed, whatever. Your insurance is going to cover you for your trip. And a lot of people will feel, oh, why do I need? You need it because in the event of something happen and you don't have insurance, you are going to lose out on all that money. So I always make sure I tell my clients insurance is included in your trip. If you don't want it, then you need to sign this waiver. Be mindful. You are signing this waiver saying, I don't want insurance. My travel advisor has warned me if anything happens, I am going to lose my money. So I always include insurance in every trip, and my clients have thanked me. It meant so much because it was like, oh my God, Natasha, if I didn't have this insurance, I won't get a credit. I won't get my money back. or anything. So I always offer insurance to all of my clients.
Okay, that point I think every advisor should keep in mind. Okay, so how do you build long-term loyalty with your clients?
I building long-term relationship with my clients is making sure that once my client book with me, even though if your trip is 6 months to a year out, I will continue to send them updates about the trip, about the destination, what was happening. Even when your trip is over, that doesn't mean our conversation is over. When you get to your destination, I'm going to check in on you mid throughout your vacation. I'm going to check in again to say, hey, just checking in to make sure everything is good. When they get home, they have a welcome email, just checking in to see how your trip was and all that. And then I continue to send them, if they have an anniversary, I will send an anniversary message, a happy birthday message, and in between, just continue to build that relationship. It's just not a one and done with my clients. It's just, have them in my CRM and continue to build that relationship so that, when we have things going on, my clients know I'm always there for them. It's not like, oh, I need you to book a trip. No, you have a birthday, I'm going to celebrate you. You have an anniversary, I'm going to celebrate you.
Okay, from all the trips we offer, Bali, Dubai, Greece, India, Egypt, which one do you secretly love selling the most?
Bali. I
Bali,
love
of course.
Bali.
I shouldn't have asked the question. Okay, other than Bali, is there any other destination as well?
I love Greece. And Greece is beautiful. Oh my gosh, those blue domes is amazing. One place I want to go to is Egypt. So Egypt is on my list, and I have a couple clients have been asking about Egypt. So I am going to be putting something together soon for some clients to go to Egypt. Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, all right, Natasha. Now, time to put your advisor instinct to the test. Now, every travel advisor faces tough client objections. Let's see how fast you can bust them in our signature game, Objection Busters. So,
Okay.
I'll throw objections at you and you answer like you do it with your real clients. Okay, so that is too expensive.
No, it's not.
Okay, I'll just book it online.
If you book it online, you're not going to get the help. If anything happen, you have to be on hold, or a 100 number is just going to bounce you around all over the place. But if you book it with me, I'm here for you all the time. And you have a real person to help you, not a 1-800 number.
Great. I need to check with my husband or wife.
Well, if you need to check with your husband and your wife, let's have a Zoom consultation and let's talk together. So, if you or your husband have questions, I will be able to answer both of you at the same time. So, when you are available to schedule a Zoom, let's get online and talk together.
Okay. Maybe next year.
No, not next year, because you don't know what's going to happen next year. So let's plan something now because we never know what is going to happen. And a perfect example for that would be when I was booking my trip for Israel, and a lot of people was like, "No, I can't go. I can't go." And to me, that was one of, a trip of a lifetime too. But now everybody's like, oh, I wished I had went with you on that trip to Israel when we went to the Holy Land. So for me, is I don't wait anymore. I go because tomorrow is not promised. So I tell people you live for today because tomorrow is not promised.
Okay, great. I found it cheaper elsewhere.
You found it cheaper elsewhere. Did you get everything that you wanted elsewhere in that booking? Because, like I said, if you cut in corners to be cheaper, when you get to that destination, the room might not be what you expect. You might not have that butler service, and the excursions that you were looking for might not be there. So cheaper is not always good. So,
Very true. Many a times, clients don't see all the inclusions, the
yeah.
hidden factors. True.
Hmm.
Okay, next one. Travel insurance. I don't think I need it.
Yes, you do. Like I said, travel insurance is a must because you never know what is going to happen. Family emergency, flights, whatever it might be, major disasters, resort shutting down, hurricane. So travel insurance is a must, and I don't book without insurance. If you don't want it, you need to sign that waiver.
Yeah, that's waiver thing is very great idea. Okay, so I'm not sure if this destination is safe.
So if you're looking for safety, I will always tell you to check the travel.gov website about that particular destination because they have up-to-date information about that particular destination to let you know what level it is and safety. So I do not make that recommendation to say you need to travel. I always point my clients to that travel, that state.gov website for to give them all the information about that particular destination to make sure they are comfortable with traveling.
Okay, wonderful. So now we'll move on to the best journeys still waiting. That is the part we go on to the future and aspirations. If you could only sell one destination for the rest of your life, which would it be and why? I think I know the answer, but even then.
Can I do two?
Yes, yes, definitely.
Okay. So I will do Bali for one. I will do Jerusalem for another, but I know right now we can't travel to Jerusalem because of, stuff that's going on. So I will do those two. Bali because of the transformation of what it was when I went there. Um, Jerusalem, hoping that we can travel there another day because of my faith and seeing the Bible came to life, all the things, the history, and all that. I will recommend that 1,000 times over. I will recommend Bali 1,000 times for all of my clients to go. So those two are my top.
Okay, what is one dream destination you have not sold yet but would love to?
Africa.
Africa. Okay. Which part of Africa?
I want to do I want to go to Ghana, but I just want to go because of the history and the culture. It is so when I look at you guys' itinerary for Africa, you have so many different options. So I would really like to go to Africa. So that might be one on my list. And once I go there, that might be on top of my list for, moving forward. But that's one that a couple of clients have been asking too. So it's a toss up between Egypt and Africa, but then maybe I can do a combo of both at the
Yes,
same time.
definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll wait for your tour request and planning ahead for you. Okay. Which recent trip have you completed with Culture Holidays and how was your experience?
Which recent trip?
Yeah, with Culture
Okay.
Holidays. Yeah.
Yeah, my recent one was with Bali that we did last year, October, and it was nice. What I love at the end was the award and their recognition. It's like you go up and you guys give us our own special name as a travel agent. That was like the best. I was like, oh my God, it was so amazing. The event and all of the entertainment was nice. But I really love that when we went there, we got our own name. So my name that you guys give me was Queen of Journeys, which I love because just love helping people to experience different things. But that was really, really nice. The ending ceremony was really nice.
We are glad that you liked that. And definitely you are the queen of journeys. Okay, so now we'll do a quick rapid fire round.
Okay.
So whatever comes to your mind first, you tell us that. Okay. First country you ever visited.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay. Your favorite destination you have sold.
My favorite, Bali and Jerusalem.
Okay. Speaking of culture holidays, which destination do you love selling the most?
Bali, but I want to sell more of Greece. I want to
Okay.
do get into Greece because I've been there and I experienced it. The culture is amazing. The food is great. So I would like to start doing some Greece as well. And
Okay.
getting into Egypt too. Yes.
All right. If you had to recommend just one culture holidays group tour, which one would it be?
If I want to do a group tour, I know I've been there, I can recommend it, but I would say moving forward because I want to experience more with the culture. I want to do Africa for another one. Yeah.
All right. Which destination could you visit again and again without getting bored?
It will be Bali
Bali,
because of the
definitely.
experience, the trip, the swing. Oh my gosh. Like before we even got to Bali, is like all of the information that we had, the Zoom that you guys gave us, the information that we had provided on the website, the things that we had for our clients. So before we even got there, we were so excited, and like all of the excursions that you had planned out for us just made it even more special because you got there, it's like, okay, I want to do this swing, and the swing was amazing, even though it was a little bit scary, but it was still nice, getting out of your comfort zone. And like I talk about the flower bath, that was really nice. You have the massage and then you do the flower bath, which was really nice, and the way how they set it up for you. So it's just the different ways how you guys package Bali. And then, I was able to present it to my client. And my client just said they had an amazing time. It was a trip of a lifetime for them. So I know you might probably say, oh, or people are going to say, oh, Tasha, keep talking about Bali because it is that great. And if I tell you it's that great, it is. And if I tell you that culture is going to take care of you from the beginning, when you get to that airport, they pick you up, as your driver and your tour guide, and he took care of you from the beginning to the end. That's how it is. So that's why I will say, and I will keep saying it.
Bali.
So I'm people. Yes.
Definitely. That is why I believe Bali is on the top list of many agents, right?
Yeah.
Okay. In one word, how would you describe your personal travel style?
Graceful.
Okay. Best travel tip you always give to your clients.
Never book without insurance, and always look to check your passport expiration date.
Okay. Name a travel gadget you simply can't live without.
My power bank.
Hmm.
My charger. Because we travel and we take so much photos and videos, you always have to have your power bank ready, fully charged. Because especially when you're on tours and excursions, you don't want to run out of battery. So my power bank, I always have to have that.
True. Pictures are very important. Okay. What is one thing you always pack for every trip, no matter where you go?
One thing I always pack,
Yeah.
I always need to have my phone.
Yes.
My phone and my power bank. Those two, any trip that I'm going on, I need to have my phone and my power bank because of all the content that we're trying to get, so that when we come back, we can share with our clients. So I always need to make sure everything is good to go. And don't want to be on the excursions and I don't have a power bank and I'm missing, certain shots or things that you can do. So those two are very important.
Okay. Okay. Now some fun choices. Beach vacation or mountain escape?
I'm an island girl, so I will always say the beach.
Beach. Okay. Window seat or aisle seat?
I want to see the window because I want to see when I'm getting into destination.
All right. Luxury hotel or boutique stays?
Luxury, please.
Okay. All right, that was fun. But before we wrap up, I want to slow things down for a moment because every dream seller carries wisdom that someone else needs to hear. And this part is for the agents who are just starting, just doubting, or just praying for your first breakthrough. So, Natasha, if a brand new travel advisor is watching this podcast right now, someone who just signed up, maybe scared, maybe excited, maybe wondering if they made the right decision, so what advice would you give them?
As a brand new travel advisor, I would say congratulations on the best decision you have ever made because it has been the best decision I have made 9 years ago. The next advice I will give you is to get educated. With our host agency, we have so much education that is available to us. So there is nothing that you want to do that you can't do. I will also say to find your niche really early, because a lot of times agents come in and I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do that. If you find your niche early and you get the training and you become an expert in that, it will propel your business. So then you can be like, okay, that is not my specialty. I don't book that. This is what I book. And you stay in your lane and your business would just propel. I would say education, education, education. Culture Holidays have so many trainings and webinars on their site that we can do and learn about destinations as well. So I'm going to give them their plug for that. All of our preferred partners have those that you can learn from. So I will always say, make sure you are knowledgeable, because every person don't have to use us, right? They can go online. So if somebody is coming to you and choosing you as their agent, you have to be knowledgeable in that. So I would say make sure you know what you're doing, stand in your knowledge and show that. Just don't say I'm a travel agent. You don't show your expertise. You don't talk about travel. So I would say just make sure you educate yourself, get your niche down pat, and just start going away and don't be afraid. And I will plug, because I'm a master ambassador with our host agencies, I also train travel agents. So you have that. You have over 200 of us that can train you to make sure you succeed in your business.
Okay, this is one of the best advice, I believe, for the agents, that knowledge training is very important. So you must do that.
Yes.
Okay, now my favorite question. If you could gift one dream trip to your younger self, where would you send them?
One dream trip to my younger self. I want to go to the Maldives.
Okay, great.
I want to go there. So to my younger self, yes.
Okay. And this one is a bit close to my heart. If you had to describe culture holidays to another travel advisor in just one sentence, maybe, what could you say?
I would say if you are looking for someone to be there for you, excellent customer service, Culture Holiday is it. Because I have experienced that from the beginning. Even before you became our preferred partner, your customer service has been top notch. You guys haven't changed since we start working with you, and it has just, got better. So I would say top notch customer service, always there and always willing to help with any booking that you have. So, yes.
Okay. So, Natasha, this has been such a beautiful and inspiring conversation. Your journey is a reminder that travel is not just about destination, it is about purpose, connection, and transformation. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Thank you for the opportunity, for sharing with you guys. Thank you, Culture Holiday, for amazing whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Don't stop. And congratulations again on your award, because we were looking for you at ITQ to walk across the stage, because when you called, I was like, where are they at? But I would say just keep doing what you do, keep serving us as travel advisor. We will keep sending clients to you because of what you do for us as business owners and travel advisors. So I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to share my story.
Thank you, Natasha. And your belief in us makes us motivated, makes us going what we are doing. And to everyone watching, if this conversation inspired you, share it with someone who needs that little push to start, because sometimes all it takes is one decision. So until next time, keep selling dreams.